So this is how I'm going to start today's video. I just want to know if you guys know this advert. If you know this advert, kindly drop it in the comment section. Just hold on. Okay. Okay, you get yourself together. Yay! But babe, my team is losing. But I'm winning. You see that advert there? They need to stop showing it because everything seems so fake, so weird, so somehow. I'm sure you guys already know the advert. That's if you're watching the show, I'm sure you would already know the advert. They need to stop. But before I go ahead and give you guys all the gist about today and things that happen in the house today, I just want to welcome you guys to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so that I can get notified each time I post a video. So this morning the wires were having a conversation. That's their usual love bed kind of conversation. If you don't know who the wires are, it's Erica and Kiddwaya. So they were talking about when they just came into the house. That time my big brother gave them the task of getting to know each other. She said when she got to him and asked him, okay, if money wasn't a problem, what is he going to buy? He now said that he's going to buy her smile. And she was just looking at him like, who is this cheesy guy? Like, okay, who's this one? But she didn't want to like show it. She didn't want to blush. She was just forming hard girl, hard girl. And before Kiddwaya started getting really close to Erica, I was always reminding her of her white dress that she used to enter the house. That means they've been noticing each other since, but they've just been forming one thing. So Erica was not trying to tell him that she doesn't like guys that are everywhere. That the way Kiddwaya is almost like he's everywhere. And I think she was just saying it based on like how he used to be, not like how he is now. That the way Kiddwaya made it in such a way that all the girls in the house just feel like, okay, they can get him. He's that kind of guy that everybody can get. She now said something like, even somebody like Watoni feels like she can get you.
But if you're with everybody feels like they can get.
But they still wanted me.
But you see how someone like Watoni feels she can get you.
Then she mentioned Kaishatu, but the way she was saying it sounded a little bit concerning because she was like, even somebody like Watoni feels like he can get you. So I'm like, what do you mean by somebody like Watoni? It sounded somehow sharp, but they just continued their conversation, playing their love inside their head of house room. If you are single and you're watching those people, you'll be like, God, though, where is my man? Where is my man? But that's just it for them today. Then there's something that's happened today that Kiddwaya, see that Kiddwaya, I don't know if, at this point, I don't know if to start believing him like when it comes to Erica or maybe to still doubt. Well, we don't really know. There are a lot of things that happen in this big house. Some people that have relationships outside, they still come into the house and they fall in love with somebody, and when they come out they'll end up with the person that they met in the house. So we don't really know. So Brighto was talking to Kiddwaya. That Brighto is always looking for talk. He was not asking Kiddwaya whether he's going to continue what he has with Erica outside the house. So like, most definitely he's going to continue outside the house. I was like, outside the house? He said yes, they're going to continue. Then another thing now happened this evening when he was with Erica. Erica was telling him that she feels like she's going to be restricted in the movie industry as a wife, that, you know, she's not going to be able to act some scenes and stuff because of the way, you know, most men reason and stuff. And Kiddwaya was not telling her that you forget that I'm different. And I'm not like, hey, what do you mean by you forget that I'm different? Is it that is now you're already like putting in or chipping in proposal to say that, okay, I intend to go that way with you? They just continue to see it. He will just be watching them, they'll just be smiling. Erica will just be smiling. Then Kiddwaya will not be choking. I don't know why he's always like holding her neck like this and talking to her. Although there was a time that she was saying something about liking she likes she likes inflicting injuries or whatever it is. They look like all those BDSM kind of people or BDSM kind of couples because the way he's always holding her neck, always every time they're talking, either he's holding her neck or he's doing this with her face and doing this and doing that. I'm like, calm down now, why so rough? So but this discussion happened just before they went in for their arena games, and I'm just like, okay, this ship, we are here, we are watching, we are going to see how everything is going to unfold and how everything is going to happen. Then for the Ozone ship, this morning Ozo was washing and Nengi was sitting there with him. Big Brother now issued Ozo a microphone infringement warning. Ozo was now going to get his microphone. Nengi was now like, Big Brother, sorry.
It's a microphone infringement warning.
Big Brother, sorry. I'm like, hey, this one you're now apologizing on his behalf. It's alright. And I've been telling you guys, like in my recent videos, I've been letting you guys know that for them it's almost as if things are beginning to flow. Nengi is now like opening up to him, and you know, their discussions are not one-sided anymore. It's not looking like a one-sided ship. It's not like both of them are now on that ship and they're flowing well. So we're watching all the ships, like all the ships. Although this season I don't really like the fact that they've made it all about shipping. To be honest, it's almost as if That's the major thing that's happening in this season, and it's not so cool. It's not ultimate love we are doing. Do you understand? They should, I don't know, even those that are not now in shit, they're now feeling some kind of way. It's not as if there's some kind of tension for them to be coupled up and stuff. I felt like this whole putting all of them up for possible evictions is going to reduce the shipping, because everybody's up, so nobody's fan base can save the other. So I was thinking that maybe everybody will now do this, or you're standing on your own kind of journey, but it's not really working this season. Everybody just wants to be coupled up. People should just scatter all of them. Say, oh yeah, all the ships, one of you should go home. Then earlier today, the housemates played their best way trivia games, where they'll be asking each other questions. They'll divide themselves into 2 groups, and one group will be asking the other group questions. It's mostly football related questions. So I usually enjoy the trivia game because I get to learn something, one thing or the other. So I just enjoy watching them do it. They did it earlier today. And Dorothy is not feeling fine. Since yesterday, she has been ill. And from the way she talks, it's almost as if she's having running nose or stuff. So I don't know, but since yesterday, she has not been feeling fine. I just thought to mention it. Why am I mentioning it? Yeah, it's part of update, Abby. Then there was a conversation that Ozo, Neo, and Nengi, they were having this afternoon. It was kind of like an eye-opener. They were just talking deep stuff about relationships, past relationships and stuff. Neo was telling his own story, his own love life story. That boy, my lover boy. When he was saying before that he's not so sure about V and he has not put his mind to it, he has not really put his mind to it, I was looking at him like, now what for you? This ship that I felt like is the most stable ship, and Neo is still going around saying things about being unsure. He doesn't know, he doesn't want to put his mind to it and stuff. But when he told his whole love story today, I just felt like, okay, then this is a valid reason for him to not be quick to just trust anybody like that. So he was just talking about what happened between himself and his ex when they separated. I mean, when they went their separate ways, that he was literally miserable, that he was depressed for a while. I can't remember how long, but he was depressed for a while. He was falling sick and coming back to normal. I mean, he was falling sick, getting well, falling sick and getting well for weeks. He was just facing some kind of sickness or the other. He was staying at home. He was not doing anything. He was not talking to anybody. He was just at home smoking weed. I'm like, hey, this kind of love, oh, I never see. Oh, he was just at home smoking weed, just going through a very, very tough time. He said the only person he was really talking to was his gate man, because you know he had to tell him to go and buy this for him, buy that for him. That anytime he just sees a message from the babe, his heart will just be pounding, to just be beating.
Even on my iMessage, saying, guy, my heart is everywhere.
Then if you should mistakenly see her on the road, let's say if her car should pass his car, his heart will just be beating, he'll just be feeling sad. I say, hey, this is serious. I think that's why he now said he had to now stay at home for a while. Then after some time, his mom now called him, and he had not told his mom what happened. His mom just called him out of the blue and was like, woman, no go kill you for this life. Now she already knows that that's how he used to love. So apparently he goes deep in love. So I feel like at this point, especially in a house like this, a house where everybody's coming for a game, it's okay if he's saying that he doesn't want to just like commit like that, to not put himself in that kind of dangerous situation again. So he also mentioned that after the relationship, as in after, yeah, one major way that the whole breakup affected him is sexually. He was not able to like get down with any other person for a long time.
The one where I suffered the most was sexually.
That even when he meets a girl and you know they go far, they do a lot of things, that once he gets to that point, he will just no longer be in the mood. So he was just telling his story, then Nengi was not telling us that I'm sure you can't relate to this kind of story, because you know also has been saying that he has not really been in a relationship, that all he has been doing is situationships. So also now gave his own story that when he was in a relationship, I mean he didn't really say whether it's a situationship or not, but he said when he had an issue with his Swedish girlfriend, I mean his Swedish babe, he just said with the Swedish girl, Sha. So I don't know, it was obviously a situationship. So that the babe just called him out of nowhere and said that she does not want to do it again, that she doesn't want to, I mean she doesn't want them to, that she doesn't want to do it again, basically. That he was like, where is this coming from? What happened? That she did not answer him. That the next thing, he now went down to her house to go and beg and beg and beg and beg and beg. That he said he did not leave until the sister came back from where she was. She now found a way to allow him to talk to the Swedish babe, I mean the Swedish girl. The girl was not answering him. He now rushed down to go and buy donuts, her favorite donuts from a restaurant, to come and beg and everything. I'm like, hey, see how these boys, so all this, all these romantic boys.
There's this donut factory place where they make donuts that the tree house place where they make to the pancakes. This is our favorite donut. Guy, I ran there and bought the donuts, carried it. That same deal.
So he was just telling his own story. He also said that if he loves somebody, like, he feels like if he's in a relationship, if he gets into a relationship with a girl, that he's going to like pamper the babe so well that he won't even want her to be walking on the floor, that she's not going to walk on the ground. That if she says her hand is paining her, that you go and get, he'll tell her to put her hand inside glass, let him be carrying it. I say, okay, all these are for mouth now. When we see them in the relationships, they might not even be that romantic or that sweet and stuff. Then Nengi didn't really say anything about her own. She didn't really say anything, She was just there listening to gist. Then later on, she and Ozo, they were now doing their question and answer session, where Ozo was asking her questions relating to the history of Nigeria. You know, they gave them a book to read about the Nigerian history and stuff. So yesterday, Ozo said that he was going to ask her some questions today about it. She was like, I'm up for that. So today, they now started doing their question and answer session. He was not asking her questions. He was not answering almost all the questions. He was just feeling like, oh, I'm sure you forget this one, I'm sure you forget that one. But as he was just asking, she was just answering. So apparently she crammed almost everything that was in that book. I'm like, hey, I give you hand though. So she was not telling him that, you want to try me. I graduated with 2-1 from Uniport. I say, okay, badass. So she was just saying that she was just trying to let him know that she likes to, I mean, she day ready, I mean, she's ready, I mean, she's smart or whatever it is. And also was just there smiling because any question he asked her, she will answer. I think the only question she didn't get was the question about the second stanza of the first national anthem. So you know that first national anthem, not so many people know it. That Nigeria, we held it. What are we doing with old national anthem when we know the new one? Let's be doing the new one, please. So I think that's the only question she didn't answer. Then they were not talking about something that the talk was coded. I couldn't really decode. You know, I like to listen to decode conversations, but I couldn't really decode. And there's something that also was coding to Neo too. Yes, I was able to decode that one. He said something like the first day, he was referring to Nengi, that the first day that one told me this thing. I could not sleep that night. I just went to my bed, I was just lying down. That's one of the most heartbreaking news that somebody can tell you. I mean, that's one of the hardest things to take in. So I feel like he meant the first day that maybe Nengi told him that, okay, she did not want anything more and there cannot be anything more, was what he was talking about, that he could not sleep. I say, okay. So it's that deep. I didn't know it was that deep. That's what he was telling Neosha. Maybe the whole matter really affected him and stuff. So he genuinely, he really likes Nengi. From that conversation, for him to say he would not sleep, that means it's something serious. But that is me decoding the gist. It could be something else. Then this afternoon, Lucy was teaching Erica how to make this fisherman soup. I mean, a stew. I think you can use it for stew, and you can also use it for soup. Me, I was even learning myself. I knew that she was frying onions inside the palm oil. After frying all the said palm oil, she now added it to the fish that she was boiling. Then she was now cutting okra and everything. She said she wanted to add okra inside her own. I don't know which one is fisherman soup that they use okra to cook. She now said that the way she's doing it is the way she used to cook her seafood, okra and stuff. She was just showing her how to do it. I said, okay, Oshe. Then after that, she now cooked Indomie for some of the housemates, and they were rating her 11/10. I'm like, okay, now it's alright, it's good. And she was now in the kitchen like throughout today. After the cooking, she was now cleaning kitchen, cleaning kitchen. I'm like, it's as if this Lucy has OCD, because the way she used to want to make sure that every single thing is clean, it's sparkling. I don't understand. It has to be OCD. But I like the way she was just making the kitchen was looking like, was just shining, sparkling and everything. I like it, it makes sense. Then Prince won the Betway Arena Games. Congratulations to Prince for winning the Betway Arena Games. So the reward is that they're going to pamper him this week. And again, you know that at the end of the whole, at the end of everything, I think they usually win money, the person that has the overall lowest time. So but for this week, he's going to be pampered. They're going to wash his clothes, they're going to cook for him, then he's not going to do any work in the house. That's lounging. And Biggie said he must use it, that every day somebody must wash for him. It's not even a choice, he must use it. That if he doesn't use it, Biggie will not punish him. So he's going to use it judiciously. Meanwhile, during the games, when it was Ozo's turn, Ozo was finding it difficult to put his plantain inside the basket, because kind of like all this African kind of challenge that they did the arena today, there are plantains, tomatoes. It's like you're going shopping, you're going to the market to buy things. So you now put plantain in your basket, put onions and stuff. Also could not put the plantain inside the basket because the plantain was bigger than the basket. He was not trying to struggle. The next thing, Oga vex. So I'm like, hey, that's if this also has anger issues that we don't really know about, or maybe we wouldn't know already, because he already shouted for Prince the other day and it came out from nowhere. So he was angry at the plantain. He was now even hitting the plantain to enter inside and say, hey, why is this boy hitting the plantain? It's not that deep, it's not that serious. Then Tolani Badabi, somebody now came and helped him with a bigger basket, because there was another basket there. They were telling him to go and collect it. He did not collect. They now helped him to bring the basket, the bigger one, which he now used. He finished his game like late, and he was just vexed and angry, saying they don't need to be biased and stuff. After the game, he was planning to go and meet Big Brother safe. That maybe the games was not, it was biased. I mean, it was not, they did not set it well and stuff. Dorothy was not talking to him. I think he went to meet Dorothy to ask her whether he should go and meet Big Brother or what. I don't even know, but I saw them talking together, and she was not like, you don't have to sweat, it's not that deep, it's not that serious, it's just a game. That's just the competition they had this evening. So as for those two people, I just feel like they're just, like I said before, they're just cordial. It's not as if they are beefy or anything, they're just cordial. When there's need to talk, they will talk. When there's no need to talk, they will not talk. So this evening they decided to spray the house because they've been complaining of mosquitoes, since big mosquitoes. So right now they're outside in the garden and they're just doing their normal charade games. That's what they use to pass time. They're just doing their normal charade games, they spray the house and everything. So what else? I think that's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye. Love you.